So as I reflect on this week and I think about anxiety, I'm taken back from as early as 5-6 years of age and starting elementary school and going into middle school. I recognize that anxiety has always been with me, a generalized anxiety that I've carried that has constantly danced with me in certain ways, has pulled me away from the present moment, has taken me into the past, has propelled me into the future. Worry, concern, fear, stress, this perpetuating, uncomfortable and debilitating sense that at times has definitely gotten the better of me throughout my life. And as a mental health clinician working with hundreds of young people and families and recognizing the ways that anxiety plagues and tortures, the first thought that would come to mind is getting rid of this anxiety, finding a way to eradicate it, to eliminate it, to make sure that it does not arise again, and seeing that when it does, seeing this as a defeat and a loss and something that should be avoided at all costs. However, as I've grown, as I've maneuvered through my life, through different developmental stages, through awareness of self, identity, ego, looking at myself in different ways, I've grown fond of my anxiety, and I would go as far as to say I wonder whom I would be without my anxiety, and the multitude of ways that it has strengthened me, that it has been something that I've again danced with and used to my advantage. And in the famous words of Ram Dass, he says, I never quite got rid of my anxiety, and I don't think that I necessarily even want to. Rather, as I grew, I learned how to hold and meet my anxiety in different ways. And he went as far as to say, now when my anxiety arises in its most fierce fashion, I close my eyes and I greet it as if it's an old friend coming to revisit me and spend time with me again. I no longer fear it, I don't try to avoid it, and I rather meet it and utilize it to my advantage. So this week I encourage everyone, wherever you are in your life, and when anxiety and fear arises, to see it as a transmutative energy that can propel you towards growth, rather than something that needs to be avoided or an enemy that needs to be eradicated. What if your anxiety is showing up in your life to teach you lessons that you were unaware of, and to make you see the ways that you are disconnected from yourself, and to bring you closer to where you want to be? And maybe perhaps the lens and the perspective in which you look at your anxiety is more important than whether or not you experience it, but rather to become conscious of it, to see it when it arises, and to meet it at a certain place and utilize it to your advantage to strengthen and grow, to know that your anxiety does not control you, and you can become conscious of it and utilize it as a way to propel your growth.